Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Star Fox 64, an all-metal run. Now here, I just went ahead and beat Sector Y again, with more than 100 hits, so that I could get leave to go to Aquas. I know, I think I screwed up saying, like, the last video that I was going to go to Sector Z this episode. I am not. That's actually going to be in the next episode after this one. So, in this episode, we're going to be going to Aquas and Zonus, and about how to get the medals for them. I took my time with these first couple missions because I wanted to make sure that I had enough enemies to restore enough of my wingmate's life so that they would be, like, say, healthy for Zonus. Because in Aquas, they're actually not going to be joining us. We've got another unique vehicle to use in this mission, so we're going to get a good look at what that is very shortly.
Star Fox, I want you to take out the enemy bioweapon.
Yes, sir. Deploy the Blue Marine.
Good luck.
Andros seems to have to really like bioweapons, doesn't he? There's like one on Titania, there's one on one in Solar, there's one here. So I just found this really weird. Can a big ship like that really just like submerge itself in water that well in order to do this? So this is Aquas, and this is a vehicle we're driving this time, the Blue Marine, and there are some notable differences to this area. First off, you keep all the laser upgrades. As before, it's not like the Landmaster in which you, like, say, only have, like, say, a single shot style laser or anything. This one keeps laser upgrades. You can barrel roll just like the R-Wing can in order to deflect laser shots. And most notably, you don't have bombs anymore, but instead an infinite supply of homing torpedoes. Like, the second your cursor can kind of, like, say, go over an enemy, it'll have this red lock-on reticule, and you can just keep mashing the B button to shoot as many torpedoes as you can. Now, I'm sure you've also noticed that it's a little bit dark in this stage. Well, yeah, that's actually on purpose. Another mechanic is that, your torpedoes also light up the stage. It's a bit of a real-time lighting in the N64. It's a pretty good trick, actually. It's a pretty nice graphical effect. But yeah, since you have infinite torpedoes here and they do decent damage, I mean, there's no reason to not keep firing them constantly throughout the entire stage. Okay, now you see those, like, enemies there with kind of, say, big arm shields. You kind of have to, like, shoot them with a torpedo first to get them to open up so you can actually kill them, so that's what you're going to want to do. You did 150 hits in order to get the medal on this one.
Wow! Look at that! It's beautiful!
Yep, and I'm about to blow it all up. See, all these, ancient columns that you see here, which indication of, like, some sort of, I don't know, Atlantis civilization or something. All the columns that have, like, say, a weakened middle spot, they can all be, like, say, knocked down by a torpedo, and the torpedo, and, like, say, as you might have just seen right there, they are, like, breaking off those weakened columns. That does count towards as a hit, so you're gonna want to do that. And yeah, your wingmates are not going to be assisting you at all during this. They're not flying in our wings overhead, they're not in their own Blue Marines, so you are completely on your own this mission. I know a lot of people don't like this mission, they'll think this is kind of like, say, the weakest spot of the game, but I honestly don't understand why. Like, I've heard a lot of people complain that it's, like, too slow. I mean, I think there's always enough going on that I don't feel like, yeah, your traveling speed is, like, too slow for anything. I mean, and a lot of people say don't like it's dark. Well, I know darkness was kind of the point of the stage. I guess if darkness kind of annoys you, I can see why, but I generally feel it's part of the mechanics of the stage, so I'm okay with it. Like I say, I've pretty much got my thumb on the A and B button on the N64 controller constantly, and I'm just constantly tapping those together throughout this entire stage, really. I think it takes out most enemies pretty easily. I don't think this is a pretty difficult or unfun mission in the game, really. I actually quite enjoy this one. Now, these jellyfish right here, if you get too close to them, some of them will, I think, might start to like, explode on you. And those starfish there, the starfish do explode. So apparently, Aquas has been polluted by Andros's forces. And the starfish gets too close to you without you having shot them before. They're gonna explode, like one of those bombs from Sector X. Basically, the explosion is gonna look like a torpedo explosion, except it's gonna be red instead of yellow, so that's why I got hit there. Now, these jellyfish here, with the lightning going between them, you can't destroy them, and don't really think there's anything you can do. You just simply have to avoid them. You can shoot them all you want, like, say, there'll be, like, say, a contact hit noise that you'll have to avoid, but yeah, that's their group you have to just simply have to point avoid. Boulders are going to fall on top of you right at that point after the jellyfish, so you might want to break there so that you can try and torpedo some of them, because, again, the boulders will add hits onto your counter. And right here, we're pretty much at the end of the stage, and we're going to fight the boss pretty quickly. Like, you can't fire more than one torpedo at a time. You have to wait for the torpedo to, like, say, hit its target before you can fire another one, which can be a bit annoying, but it normally doesn't take all that long. So look, see, with an actual torpedo out, then you could, like, you were able to actually see the boss here. Now, I believe this boss is called Biovalve, and you can be a bit unlucky with this boss in the last half, which makes him a bit of a pain. But if you follow my strategy here, it won't be too bad. What you're going to want to do is start off by firing torpedoes at the three, like, say, valves on the top of his head, because they keep spurting out, like, say, these, like, little worm enemies. Each one of those valves gives you 4 hits this quickly, and that's what you're supposed to use to help bolster your score to reach 150. And once those are done, the burst of the boss will be quite a bit easier. So I just gotta wait for him to open up again. Now there's 2 of these tendrils, like, say, keep tendons, like, holding it up. You're supposed to shoot it with a laser enough until it turns rainbow colored, and then at that point your reticule will lock onto it, and you're supposed to fire a torpedo at it. You have to do this twice. Once you take out both of them, the top part of the shell will fall off, and if you didn't take out the 3 valves shooting out the enemies, you would have lost those hits. On the left and the right are these pearl shooters, and a lot of people hate this boss because of them, because a lot of their shots can get in your way. Their torpedo will hit them instead of the actual boss, and I'll just find that really annoying. I generally find if you stay in the center and just swivel left and right shooting them, it's not that hard. As you see what I'm doing here, I'm shooting off, like, say, the fleshy skin on it until the eye is exposed, and then I keep having torpedoes going out, because you have to use a torpedo to actually hit the eye. Like, you can be really unlucky with this boss with the pearls, but, I mean, if you kind of do what I do, it shouldn't be too difficult to take this boss out really quickly. This was almost pretty much a perfect fight as far as I can think of. I really don't know anything I did wrong.
We're preparing to dock. Thanks, Flip. Blue Marine came through. Flip is not such a screw-up after all.
Thanks a lot, Peppy.
I'll take the sky any day.
Sheesh, Falco. You too.
Yeah, most people think that way. Most people will take the sky over the Blue Marine, but I mean, I didn't think this was a bad stage. I kind of wish that the Blue Marine would have returned in a later Star Fox, but just, you know, like, yeah, a bit faster, a bit quicker and everything. Like, I think there's, like, potential for the Blue Marine stages. I actually think this wasn't that bad. But alas, this is the only mission in the game where we play as a Blue Marine, and the only mission throughout the entire Star Fox series so far where we still also play as the Blue Marine. Now, Aquas, like some other planets, only has one way to succeed it. There's no alternate paths. Once you beat Aquas, you're gonna go straight to Zonus. No other way around it.
There's an enemy base there?
Affirmative, General.
Good luck.
So apparently this takes place on a world that used to be like a tropical paradise, but then all this pollution happened. Now it's a toxic sludge, like, say, like a toxic sea planet now. No real special intro this time, it's just got a lot of enemies. We've got 250 hits to do for this stage, so you're gonna have to make sure you keep all your bombs. However, if there's one mission you don't have to be worried about consuming your bombs on, it's this one, because you'll get plenty of chances in order to get more, so... Charge shots are those things that hurt those, like, say, triangular sort of enemies, and there'll be quite a few clusters of enemies that you're going to want to shoot your bombs into. Now, the big gimmick in this stage is that there's a whole bunch of searchlights here. If you miss out one, you will be found out, in order to get to Sector Z, you have to take out every single searchlight without missing a single one. Oh yeah, charge shots have to take out those spider enemies as well. If you miss one, well then you've lost your chance and you're going to Macbeth and not Sector Z. So basically that's really all there is to that. You can't miss any one of them. We'll get more to that as more of them show up, but they will be showing up randomly throughout the entire stage. Like, it probably would have been good to have used a bomb there, because a bunch of little enemies like to fly out from the bomb.
We're closing in on them, Falco. Take the right one for it. I have enough.
Cat, what are you doing here?
Is that any way to greet a girl?
So on this pathway, this is our partner mate for this this run. This is Kat Monroe. She's like a former fighter who has a crush on Falco, and she's kind of like takes up Bill's role if you go this path instead of through Katina, actually. And the unfortunate thing about it, she tries to like shoot down some of the searchlights, which is good. It's kind of good sometimes to just let her do that, but also she might like say take some of your kills because each of the searchlight is worth 3 hits. Another one of the reasons why you generally want to shoot them all down yourself in order to help you get the medal. Be careful of those big, those big, like, say, serpent things, like, keep jumping out of the water. Fly over them, not under them. You know how they create, like, say, arcs with their bodies for you to fly under? Don't do that. It's really easy to get hit by them. Fly over them. It's that simple. I've never really found a good way to take out those birds who drop those, like, electric balls. Shoot the, upper sides of the, little, like, say, switches on the sides of these in order to make the gate go up. If you shoot the bottom part of it, the gate will go down instead. So keep that in mind when you're trying to shoot that in order to get yourself, like, say, some of the searchlights that are hidden right behind them. A bomb would probably work too, and there is no shortage of bombs on this stage. Trust me. So, this part here is a pretty easy shooting gallery, actually, right here coming up. Like, 250 hits can be quite difficult in order to fully manage now on this stage. So, like, again, with some other ones, this one's going to take a bit of practice. Like, some other ones, it's quite a bit easier in order to get the medal on. This one, you might have to practice a bit, like, say, save up your bombs and such sort of thing. At this part, if you follow Slippy through, like, say, the bottom parts of these platforms, you will get a you'll get a laser upgrade to appear, like, say, right through that structure right on the left that Falco and I just flew by. I didn't do that because I didn't need the laser upgrade, so. But it would happen if you like, say, flew through other things and followed Slippy. You're gonna have, like, some parts where some of the enemy flyers haven't taken off of these platforms yet, giving you some easy shots if you can get a lock on them. Now, these submarine enemies, I much prefer using charge attacks and bombs to taking them out rather than standard shots because I find them to be a little bit too difficult to actually get an aim on. Like, say I got kind of lucky there, but I wouldn't really do that all the time. Haha, shot down the villain you're going after. But yeah, generally I prefer those. Like, I think if you get spotted by one of the searchlights, more enemies appear, but I actually not entirely sure about that. So right there, that spotlight behind the searchlight behind that rock I knew Falco flew by, I believe that's the one he always takes out, so if you generally want Falco around in order to take out that one, if you can't take it out with the bomb yourself quicker, so. Now I got really lucky here because here comes the boss and I have 239 hits, and I just got lucky enough that I had enough just to manage 250 for this one, so probably should use a bit more bombs in some of the enemy clusters, but. So we're fighting a pirate. And he's got a giant chain ball that you gotta avoid. Now, you need to have really good aim in this fight. You must shoot the parts of its body off with bombs. And I missed the snorkel there. So you saw that pipe that I was aiming for? I mean, the first thing that you want to do is use 2 bombs to blow off each of the snorkels. That's what you want to do, because that's what allows the boss to just hide underwater and wastes your time, like, lowering your potential score, actually. I still managed to get the, I managed to get the medal because it still took him out quickly enough, but if you're even a little bit off shooting with the bombs, you're gonna end up hitting one of the sides, and that's what you don't want to do. And if you don't, like, say, what I did there, since I shot a bit too early, like, say, no damage was even registered onto it. And like I said, bombs are the only things that will work on this guy. But yeah, definitely make sure to, yeah, bombs, yeah, definitely make sure you have good aim on here. You don't want to miss. When he says you're going to drop the crane, you need to shoot 3 bombs at this crane because he's going to try to bring up one of the parts that he lost in the water. And I see he almost got it, so you need to have 3 bombs to shoot them all off really quickly. Now this last section here is the last part that needs to be blown off, and when he's in the middle of rotating, you can't hit it. So you got to be very... Again, aim is very important with this boss. And once that last part is blown off, then you can just shoot the main section without really having to worry about anything else. And that's Mr. Pirate taken out, so...
All aircraft report.
I'm fine, I'm fine.
Everything's A-OK. Cat, where'd you go?
So that's Zonus. Like, I got lucky getting the medal, but, hey, like I said, with pretty much anything in these games, practice makes perfect if you want to get the medals on it, so. And again, I'll be showing you everything that the medals do once, you know, like, they're all beaten, so. And for doing that, you get the medal, and because we blew up all the searchlights without getting spotted by a single one of them, we go to Sector Z. But that's going to be in the next episode. Right now, I'm going to show you what happens if, you're not quite as careful about what these giant enemies right here. Watch, I try to fly under there, but I got knocked beneath the water, and that's how I got a searchlight to spot me. I was so pissed off that happened. Never in my years of playing this game have I seen that happen before. I've never been knocked beneath the water's polygonal surface, ever in this game. Ever since I was in 3rd grade when I first got this game. So, yeah, that's what happens. And like right here I sped up the footage of this attempt with the boss. Like, I thought to say, hey, I had 242 hits, like, say, this'll be great. But my aim was so bad here, like, I have never done this badly against this boss my whole life. I was just kept trying to aim, but I just kept barely missing every single time. I really hated it. Just like, yeah, like say, I sped the footage as much as it can be allowed. But yeah, if you start firing, like say, when his invincibility is still going on, I mean, you're not gonna have, like, say, like, you're not gonna actually get anything. You're gonna get really frustrated with your inability to, like, say, not hit anything. I'm sure you know it's those, like, black cannonballs that he shoots out of the sides. That's how you restore your bombs, so. So, like, I managed to blow off the crane at that point, but not before he was actually able to finish bringing up his second part. So yeah, I was so annoyed with this attempt right here. Like, my aim was never this bad, and I mean, look at the actual score I get. Yeah, just wait. 6 hits. That was like 2 beneath what I needed in order to get the medal. I was so pissed. That's why it's ending right here. I'll see you guys in the next episode.